Right on. Anything that I should be aware of for you guys? Is there something that you want to do or are working on or have issue with? Shoulders, hips? No? Okay. All right, then we will get started. Let's take a seat. And if you have a, my little pocket thing here is, there we go, twisted. So take a seat if you have some blocks, keep them close nearby, or have something that's, looks like or feels like a block, and it can, in some way can support you in this practice. That would be nice to have near as well. Just take some deep breaths, sitting nice and tall. Plant your sit bones into the earth, maybe even wiggle side to side here until you feel like there is support from the ground up. Take the arms out wide, plug into the earth, 2 fingers. I'm using my peace fingers to plug in. This is Earth Mudra. Of course, we're plugging in like a prongs and just feeling the support of the earth. Today is about how do we find support? So just closing your eyes, taking some deep breaths in. Imagine if there is any, tension around productivity today, what you're doing, and where you might need support. Ask the question, who I communicate with, who can help me? What do I need support in today? How can I show up for myself in a supportive way? Feel the support of the earth, feel the groundedness. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale back down to the earth. We're just going to tune in and listen to that, the answers to those inquiries. How can I find more support? So it might come in the way of like nourishing. Inhale, let's lean forward. Exhale, fold the arms in front. It might be that you support yourself with rest. Now, how can I support myself, recognizing my true needs and then following through in not self-sabotage, but actually self-care? Let's bring it out over to the side with a big circle in the arm, and the second side, big circle. Plant the right hand and the left. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So often it's just a phone call away, a friend, a teacher, a mentor, a coworker, family member can possibly be that person that gives us the help that we need today. Let's rock back. For me, I sometimes have a hard time figuring out gift giving. It's not my forte. And so I tend to say, oh, I'm just not a good gift giver. So I'll get a gift card for somebody, right? But really, when I ask the question, how can I be supported in my effort to give a meaningful gift? That's very different than me just giving up, right? And I know it's really simple example, but truly I need help in that gift giving department. So we're doing this sweeping swing motion side to side, giving a little twist. Let's hold it to the right. Take some deep breaths here. Tip the ear towards your back shoulder. So we start opening up the neck, resting the head and releasing any tension that's built up here. Back from the twist, use your hand to support the head. Twist to the left. In that same manner, tilt the head to your left shoulder, opening here. So sometimes when I pause and really inquiry about what would be a meaningful gift for this person, quite often I actually get an answer, which is pretty profound and meaningful. Or I'll be at the store and I'll think, oh my gosh, that's it. Or I'll hear them talk about something that they're passionate about, and I'll think, oh, this would add or aid to what they're passionate about. And you can do this with anything that is on your mind. Let's return gently back into focus, and then we'll breathe in and exhale through the mouth. In through the nose, very strong. Exhale through the mouth, very strong. We'll do it slower today. A gentle rocking action forward and back accompanies the breath. Keep going. About 10 more. Strong breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. 8 more. 5, 4, and 1. And release back to center. Take a easy cat-cow. Inhale and exhale. We've got spinal movement. We have decompressed the lungs. Let's take the feet out. Decompress the joints. For me, that cross-legged position after 20 years, it's really still not that comfortable for me. Easy pose, not that easy. Let's get some joint mobility here. So you're not alone in your seated postures. They're sometimes difficult to hold for long periods. Rotate the ankles the opposite direction. And then let's come into a downward facing dog. So cross the legs, take the hands forward, stepping back, pedal the heel to the floor as you bend the opposite knee, and then switching sides. Not in a way that's fast, but let's do it with some thoughtfulness and with the breath. Inhale, switch, exhale, hold, inhale, pedal the opposite heel down, exhale, pause. This is very slow pedaling, so we get to feel the tenderness in the calf, the energy up the full length of the backside of the leg. Inhale and exhale. Make it rich and long. Inhale and exhale. Let's keep that pedal action. Now it's going to look different. You're going to inhale, come forward, and exhale, tap the knee to the floor. Switch sides. Downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, touch the right knee to the floor. So it's a little pedal. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward. So that the calf that's stretching now is the leg that stays straight. Exhale, back. Inhale, touch down. We're getting more use out of the abdominal region. We're igniting the abs. One more time. Exhale back. And then we'll come to the knee, left side, extending the right leg out, holding here and pressing through the heel and then the toes. Press through the heel and the toes. And I hope you're thinking about, where can I ask for support? Who can help me in my need today, or where I want to go? And when we're open to that, we're also open to seeing where we can be of service to others when they ask or need it. And the key is that we ask for it and that others ask us before we jump in to just give a hand. Let's kickstand the foot, open, to the side wall. And that we be discerning about that, right? Sometimes, you know, we lend a hand without someone having to ask, because we really can discern the need is relevant. Big breath in. I'm talking about, you know, the need to criticize someone or the need to correct someone without permission. That often backfires and is not actually helpful. Let's bring the right hand back down to the earth. Sweep your right leg out and press the hips back. Inhale back to the neutral spine. The hips are over the knee. And then we'll sweep the right leg all the way around to your left. Look over the shoulder. Pause. Inhale, big sweeping motion. Exhale, hips to heel. I love that inner thigh engagement, or that opening. Big sweeping motion. Exhale, pause. Inhale, all the way around, hips back. Exhale. Last time, sweeping motion. Exhale, pause. Inhale here. Exhale, take the hips back, and let's hold for a couple of breaths. The hips may touch the heel, possibly the forearms to the floor. If you're settled here, great. If it's more comfortable to be upright and pushing that foot into the earth, and that gives you more power, let's do it this way. So you support the posture with the forearms rather than all the way back on the heel. And then everybody come back to this neutral position. Raise the right arm and thread it through. Oh, no, let's do that. We're gonna go opposite. Oh, shoulder to the mat, left hand supporting. And this twist is unlikely to be that comfortable because we've got a leg extended this way. The arms go in the opposite direction. Very strong sensation here. Keep anchored in the right foot. One more breath. And then lift yourself back up, unwind gently, and bring the right foot in to meet the left here. Inhale, a gentle cat-cow. Extension, exhale to flexion. Twice more. And last one. We'll take the left leg out to the back of the mat, toe to the earth, and give it a little pulsation action, forward and back. Plant the right hand, spin or kickstand for support, the right foot, and open to the side wall. Left arm coming all the way up and around with a bend in the elbow. Clasp the hand behind the bulky part of the head and press back. So we're now starting to get more open in the side body. A lot of length. Pull the ribs in. Very steady and strong through the standing arm. Take the left arm back to the earth and sweep the left leg out to the side at about 9 o'clock. Hips back to the heels. Inhale, come forward. Sweeping motion. Exhale, pause. Inhale, sweeping motion. It's a pendulum swing. The foot to the earth, the hips to the heels. Inhale, we rotate it to the right. Exhale, pause. Inhale again. Exhale, sitting back. The last set here. Inhale, sweeping motion. Exhale, pause. Inhale, sweep to the side. Elbows to the floor. Hold here, the hips high, or bring the hips all the way back to the heel. And one of those options will be more comfortable than the other. So we're not doing yoga to increase our punishment. It's actually to create spaciousness for the mental capacity, emotional capacity, and energize the body. So let's promote that. Left arm lifts. We're going to slide it to the right. So remember, our left leg is off to the left, and the left arm is off to the right. In opposition, it's creating a stronger sensation for me in the inner thigh, possibly for you. I don't know how you're your own guru. And we've been doing this pose, same side, so the arm going the same direction. That does take the pressure off that inner thigh, and it is a possibility if you like to do that. Let's bring the knee back in, turn the toes under, and we'll press back into a downward facing dog. Hopefully this one feels a little more loose and open than the first one we took. We're going to glide into the top of a push-up, stacking bones over bones, right? Shoulders, elbows, wrist, and then muscularly holding it, contract the belly in, firm, tuck the tailbone just towards your heels, raise the hips back into downward facing dog. We're going to move in these two elements to plank and back to down dog very quickly. Inhale forward, exhale back. Here we go. Inhale, exhale. Keep going. Probably about 12 or 15. Let's go 10 more. 9, 8. Inhale, exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, and 1. Exhale back. Press it all the way down, heels to the floor. Just feel the energy. I love the energy that flows through the body after we get that movement going. Separate the feet a little wider. Walk your hands back. And when your hands get close to the feet, about 1/3 of the distance away, we're going to hold the hands here and keep them moving backward, but only the hips move back, right? Knees slightly bent. And we get this hinge or functional forward fold, very different than a regular forward fold, because you can start spreading the sit bones, dig the heel in, and really open up the backside of the leg. And we want to do that. Let's bring it forward because it'll be necessary when we kick up into our inversions. Elbows to the knees. And a forward fold is a different type of inversion, but it is an inversion. Head below the heart's the definition. Now we've got head above the heart, hands to the thighs. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, roll down. Let's make this a gentle, smooth cat-cow. Inhale, lift. Rounding, exhale, extension. Back down, inhale. Last one. Exhale, roll down. And then come to standing. I'm going to take it a couple giant steps forward to the top of your mat. I'm just going to face you, so I'm turning here in the middle of my mat, but you'll be at the top of your mat. Bring the arms overhead. Tick-tock the hips over to the left. Using your obliques, you're going to crunch the right side, yes? Now crunch the left side and lift yourself back up. Using your obliques, I know you can just lift up by pushing into the floor. Let's push into the floor and then assist by using the side muscles. Exhale over. Inhale, it's a lift. Exhale, keep the contraction and it's over. Inhale, we shift the contraction to the other side, hold it. Inhale, shift left oblique working over to the left. Right oblique working, shifting the hips and the arms go. Let's do one more tick-tock here. And then come back to center and release the arms. When we do that enough times, you're going to feel it right here in the oblique transverse abdominals. Hands to the base of the spine, elbows in. Let's take it in a half moon shape towards the back wall. And fire up here a little bit so they're not relaxed and pushing in. Push the floor away. Connect with the inner thighs. Lift the sternum and create space in the low back. And a curve in the upper back. The chin neutral. And if you're really taking that back, you can start to drop the head, holding 3 more breaths. 2 more, full open shoulders. 1. And on an inhale, connect with the front body, all the rectus abdominal muscles, upright, arms float overhead. Exhale, bend the knees and bring the hands underneath the knees or behind the knees with a flat back. Exhale, lift the hips and drop the head forward. Come back to that neutral spine. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, lift the hips. And straighten the legs. I'm already shaking. Inhale here. Push the floor away. Exhale, tip the head forward. One more. Exhale. And then bring the hands into the floor. And just see how I can get my palm, almost getting my elbows to the floor. A lot of bend there. And if your head is above the knees, then please use a block. If your head is above the knees and you're dangling here, use a block. Okay. One more breath. Inhale, let's come up to a flat hands to the waist. Pull in through the belly, strong connection there, elbows in, and inhale, press down to come all the way to standing. Inhale, let's take a half sun salutation, forward fold. Now that we're all warmed up, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, exhale, fold in. Inhale all the way to standing, strong, powerful legs, supportive legs, palms together, hands to the heart. And we'll take it into some variations. Forward fold, step the right leg back with an inhale, and then gently bring the knee to the floor with an exhale, moving the front leg to a straight and bend. We're going to mobilize the hip here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend. One more. Keep the bend in the knee, the foundation strong. Press into the earth, especially with the front heel. Pull in and up with the pelvic floor. Palms together in our half moon shape again. Coming into Anjaneyasana. 2. Palms together. One more breath. And then a slow motion, bringing the hands to the floor. Try not to fall out of that supportive the whole way down. Step back, facing dog. Inhale, come into that bone stacking push-up position. Knees, chest and chin to the floor. Now, Ashtangasana creates a slope. This is not a chaturanga. The chest, you're going to aim for the line, that invisible line that connects one thumb to the other. The chest and chin come to the floor, and then we're inchworm our way into a low cobra. Very powerful. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg extends to the sky. Rotate through the ankle. We'll do that move again, so you'll get to practice it. Let's step the right leg forward. Top of the mat in a lunge. Now the back leg is going to stay elevated. Inhale, straighten the front leg, so we come into pyramid, and then exhale, bend your back in that giant leap of a lunge. Inhale and exhale. We're just taking it nice and easy, slow. And exhale, last one. From here, push off with your back foot, push it down with your front foot, and step together to top of the mat. Inhale to a tabletop. Exhale, round it down and in. Let's just see how close you can get the chest to the thigh and really open more fully and completely the back side. Maybe we can go further than you thought. Inhale, release it. Exhale, pause. Press down through the feet, slight bend in the knee. Inhale, flat back, come all the way to standing. Palms together and then at your heart center. Just take a nice shoulder roll. We'll do that to the second side. Let's shake the arms out. Big breath out. Inhale. We'll begin reaching upward. Exhale in the forward fold, hinging at the hip. Inhale, step the left leg, giant step back, and we'll gently bring the knee to the floor. Inhale, straighten the front leg. This is the motion, locomotion. in the hip, it's important that we tend to these muscles that get really jacked up and tight, right? That's going to cause low back issue. Press down through the feet, hug the center line, inhale, supportive way, reach the arms overhead. So from the ground up, we're really supporting this posture so we're not in the back. Pull up through the pelvic floor. 3, one more breath. 2, one more deep breath in. Exhale the hands to the earth. Slow motion down, step back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, come to the top of a push-up. Bring the knees, chest and chin to the earth. There's that practice move again. Inhale, cobra. It's called Ashtangasana, 8 limb. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg to the sky. Pause here with a rotation in the ankle. Step on through, low lunge. Lowering the hips, we get this fantastic stretch in the groin. And then when we raise, that stretch moves more to the hamstring. And then we lower back down. Keep your back thigh strong. The energy flowing out the back heel as you bend the front knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, push off with the back foot. Step forward. Inhale, half lift to the tabletop. Exhale, draw in and down. Go deeper. Inhale all the way to standing. Slight bend in the knees, flat back, palms together. And then bring it all the way into the heart center. We're going to take a big step to the side, middle of the mat, toes pointed out. Bend the knees and elbows. So we come into a goalpost, Utkatada Konasana, or goddess pose, right? This is for you. Absolutely. Let the hips descend. Hug the feet towards each other, the heels, so you feel that the inner thigh connection. This is very strengthening and very hard at the same time. We're going to tip it to the right and then bring the left arm in a big circle and let the left arm reach up and to the thigh, and the right arm gives a big lasso around the head, and thus we flow from side to side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Make it a smooth transition. Adjustment that you like. In dance, this is an improvisation. I mean, we could keep it just to the side like this, monkey arms, but I really like to be in the flow and creativity of the upper body. Last one. Nice. If your legs are on fire, you're in the right place. Let's just send the hips a little bit further. Take the hands to the knees and drop a shoulder in. Oh, that's going to give you a little bit of relief because the arms now are taking over some of the pressure. And take the left shoulder in. You feel that? Isn't that nice to give your legs a little support? Right. Now let the heels come in again. A lot of strength. Hands to the base of the spine. Knuckles down, open to the sky. Press the heels into the earth. Straighten the legs and bring the arms above the head in a high V. Turn the toes in. So we're in Tarasana, star pose. Take a deep breath in and just feel the self-confidence that comes from standing tall. All right, the arms in the air. Here I am, loving all of me in all my imperfections. When we have a chance to look at our imperfections, we can become more perfected in our imperfections. Soften the knee. Let's shift the hips back and then start to lean forward, bringing the hands together in Hakini Mudra. So reach forward with the arms, reach back in the hips until the hands come to the earth. And now we're in the hinge again. Again, it's opening the back body, the posterior chain. There's nothing magical except that it feels so good on the side body, and it becomes magical. We really emphasize the hinge. And then bring the hips a little more forward. Now they're in line with the heel. Walk it over to your right side. Right hand in front of the right foot. The left hand is going to wrap around the calf or ankle. Then if you bend the elbows outward from each other, we're making a little window and a little twisting action in the waist, sorry. And it just helps us have this playful light twist in the waist. Vakratunda, or twisted trunk. Let's come back to center. Walk the hands over now to the left, the same thing. So the left hand is in front of the left foot. We thread the arm through to the calf or ankle, bending the elbows, and we have a light twist here. Breathe in and breathe out. Keep the feet steady and strong, pressing into the earth. That's your support mechanism. When you lose that, you're going to start to feel it in your back and spine. Let's come back to center here. With a lift, turn the toes out and then bend the left knee. So you bring the elbow to the thigh and we descend the hips. Now the inner thighs are really getting challenged. I'll top that off with the foot coming up to the sky. We get a really deep inner thigh stretch. Walk over to the right, the same thing. The heel stays on the ground. So it may look like I'm descending the hips at the expense of the heel. I'm not. The heel stays on the ground. The shin is perpendicular to the floor. My hips are back, and I'm supporting this posture with the arms because my legs are not strong enough to support that low of an enticement, that low of a posture. Let's come back side to side. And then if you'd like to take the arms out, you can take this as low as is challenging for you. And you can still come back up. One more time to the left. One last time to the right. Let's pause here. Turn all 10 toes to the front of your mat and step back into a downward facing dog. Full breath in, full breath out. And gently bring the knees to the floor. Sit back with a slight width in the knees, wider knees. Take it back into child's pose. This is a pose we come back to time and time again. So our inversion today will be a headstand. We've been working on it all month if you've been with me in my classes. And the progression towards that is bringing the thumbs together, pulling the belly in, and then laying the forearms to the ground here. Broaden through the shoulders, keep the heart melting. And you almost can't go too wide to be able to push yourself up. We're pushing up with the back muscles, not the strength of your pec muscles. I know you're going to want to do this. You're going to want to separate the elbows and then push with the chest. Don't fall for it, right? Let's connect and integrate the back muscles. That's what this whole purpose is for. So wrap your fingers around the elbows. That's the distance your elbows should be apart, right in line with the shoulder. And then extend the forearms back out, thumbs touching. Press, lift with the abs and lower. Let's do it 10 times. Press and lower. That's already 3. 4, and if this is easy enough for you, 5, you can make it a little more challenging. Separate the hands and just come into a down dog. The key ingredient here is that your elbows don't go far part like this, okay, that we integrate the back muscles. You're going to find there might be some weakness there because it's not there. Those are not muscles that we generally work in our cultural, let's see, the way we move, our habitual movement in the day. Let's come back to a regular form balance here. Forms on the ground, not a balance. Toes turned under. And we'll take this into a full dolphin pose. Press the forearms into the earth, the hands pushing the floor away. And then see how much space or movement your shoulder has. Okay, everybody is different. So I can move forward, my shoulders over the forearm, and I can move back, the shoulders equally behind the elbow. I have a pretty good range, but I've been working on this for some time. Your range may be just right here, and then you feel that tightness. Yes, if you're rounding in the back, that tightness is going to stop you. You have to melt the heart. Open and broaden the shoulders to get the arms to go behind the shoulders. That makes sense. Bring the knees back. Sit back on your heels and raise the torso. Let's shake the arms out. That was a lot of work for the arms. But it's good because it's priming you or prepping you for the headstand. And the headstand is a supported headstand. And I'll show you how this is happening. You interlace the fingers, make a horseshoe shape. Bring the elbows in front of you, directly in line with the shoulder. So if you're unsure, you can take that measurement again of the hands next to the elbows, and then make a triangle shape. Bring the hands to the base of the head behind and press the head into the hands. And I'm actually not pressing in the hands, I'm pressing into the thumb pads. So from the side, forearms are flush with the top of the head. I'm going to pull the ribs in, lengthen the spine, push upward through the forearms as if there is an invisible ceiling that I am pushing against to keep my neck longer, right? I don't want to compress or put all the weight on the head when we go upside down. And the reason we go upside down is because it gives our inner organs a rest, helps us our digestion. It gives us a new perspective. The blood flow is different, right? It has a cleansing action, not only to the body, but for the mental and emotional state. Very helpful. So let's do this. Any version that you want to take in your headstand, I'll walk you through it. If you are ready to be against the wall, you could fix your mat so that the wall can be your support vehicle for not tipping over. I would prefer, if you're not kicking up, that you just stay in the middle of the room and work this from the forearms. So we're going to make a horseshoe shape, place the elbows in that triangle shape, tuck my pinky finger in, slide the head into that groove for the horseshoe shape. It's important that you're touching the top of the head, not behind here, not the crown of the head. 2 fingers forward from the crown. That's where you want to put the weight of the head. And I'm going to hug or snug the elbows into the floor and pull back into the head as I lift and walk the feet forward. Now pause here and practice lifting your control. Practice the control in the forearms by lifting the head off the floor and then letting it come back down. If you can do this well, and then you're ready to lift a leg and do it again, right? Can you have that control so the neck is never compressed, it's always long, and I'm squeezing and hugging to midline with that top leg,
And it in turn helps the other leg to come up. And again, I can take the weight off the head and just gently, lightly touch. The neck is very long. Forearms pressing into the earth, strong and steady. Holding, lift the opposite leg. So if you've got feet on, touching on the ground, bring the opposite leg up. And if your knees are bent, no worries, this is fine. Don't pile drive the head, take the weight off the head. Lift the hips up over the shoulders. And if you want to take that into an extended headstand, that's great. If you're on the earth, that's great. This is your inversion. You're still getting the benefit. It's perfect. It's perfect. Then come down, knees, elbows. That was a whole, like a 30, 45-second hold. We're working up towards a minute. Very, very good. Make a fist. Pound the other fist on top or just stack it lightly. And then rest your forehead here in child's pose. We relax the neck. If you have neck issues, headstands are an important part of our practice, done in a way that does not harm what you might already be going through, right? So if you have neck issues, we're never putting pressure on the head until we start to build some strength there. All right, so hands and knees, downward facing dog. And that brings us to handstand. So after the king of asanas, we're going to practice another inversion. And that's the right leg steps forward. We're going to swing the left leg and spring the right leg. Swing and spring. Swing and spring. 3 times, possibly getting the hips to come all the way up over the shoulders. And maybe we're going to hold that. Oh, so close. Pause. And let's take the second side. So the left leg steps forward. We sweeping motion, the right leg swings. And the bottom leg springs. Swing. And what we're looking for is just maybe a split second of air. You're getting a little air time. And bring it back down. Whew. Release to the floor. Hips to the heels. Child's pose. Let's sit upright. Interlace the fingers and rotate through the wrist. Let's go backwards. Both directions. And then we'll find a wall. So I have been training my students all month long towards this handstand. We're going to go to it today. I want you to stay with me. There's always progressions that are going to increase your growth potential, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally. Because this can be tricky, right? So find a wall. If you don't have a wall, pretend you have a wall. We're going to back our sacrum all to the baseboard or the wall, and then back the shoulders up into the wall. Press them wide. So it's almost as if somebody has their hands on your shoulder and they're pushing the shoulders into the wall. That's the feeling you want. That's going to pop your ribs out a little bit. So draw the ribs in, tone the muscles of the belly, and then reach the arms out wide. I'm going to keep my wrist flush, come into a goal post, hold, back of the head pressing against the wall, shoulders, sacrum, ribs. Full breath in, full breath out. Now we're really working on that postural muscle. Extend the arms overhead. Push the ceiling away. Palms flush to an invisible ceiling. Breathe. 3, 2, connect into the wall with the shoulders, ribs, hips. Hold it, hold it. I'm just going to take a look. I know you guys are just practicing this. Yes, yes, Katie. Awesome. I can't see the other two, but you guys are doing a great job. Breathe and then release. Let the arms come back down and shake it out. Now, if you can do this, L shape on the wall, you're ready now to flip it. So the feet are going to be where the hands were, and the hands are going to be where the feet are. So I've got a measurement here, and I'll keep that heel of the foot in place so it shows me where the heel of the hand is going to be placed. I'm going to take a downward facing dog, heels up against the wall here. And this is our first inversion, or the beginning of one. You can hold here for 10 breaths. Okay, the other option is to step one foot behind, and now we're going to do the downward facing dog, but on the wall. So you push the wall away, lift the bottom leg, and then lower. Okay, let's just get in tune here with the abs. A lot of ab work. The arms, the shoulders really have to push against the floor. There's a lot of physics going on here. And then step right foot to meet your left. And now we're in that full L shape on the wall or a downward dog on the wall, holding for about 10 breaths if it's possible, or 5. Hold, stay there, stay there. I'm going to come down again. I just want to see how you guys are doing. Excellent job. Whenever you need to, then bring the feet, or when you're ready, bring the feet down. Lower the head. Relax and dangle the hands. Good, and then come to a kneeling posture and shake the wrists out. Good job. I just want to say that downward dog on the wall with your feet like that is actually harder than the handstand itself. So if you are strong enough to hold that with the hips vertically aligned over the shoulder, like you're ready for a handstand. 10 breaths in that posture can really promote the strength needed in the shoulders, the arms, the fingers, and your core. All right. Let's flip I'm going to flip my mat back so we can see the steady flow. Let's come into a downward facing dog. Again. Into a plank, open to the right side so your left hand stays steady. We'll take a side plank again. This time the knee is elevated, and also the opportunity to bring the knee down or step one foot forward and one foot back. So there's a lot of variations that are possible in this posture. I'm going to take just the straight plank here. So I'm building strength in the arm even after it's been fatigued. We'll be off the arms in a moment. Let's switch to the other side. We're building a lot of back and arm strength here. Plug into the earth with the finger pads and your outer edge of your back foot. Full lifting of the hips if they're starting to wane. And then plant the hands. You did a great job. Step or jump your feet forward to your hands. Inhale, lift to a tabletop. Exhale, round it down and in. Inhale, lift to a tabletop again. Take your hands and sweep them underneath the sole of the foot, gorilla style, and bend the elbows. This is just to give your wrist a break. Feels super good. You might just have the tips of the fingers here. It's still a great, nice stretch or lengthening for the wrist wherever you're at. They're all the way under. Really push the toes into the wrist. Give it a nice massage. And at the same time, nice opening through the back body. Release, raise to a half lift. Hands to the waist. Exhale, elbows to the sky.
Come all the way to standing and shake it out. Super job. Okay, so we have one more real fun sequence. With me, it's about 2 minutes long. You guys will all get through this very easily. Bring it forward a little bit. There we go. Yeah. So starting at the top of your mat, take the arms up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Step the right leg to the back of the mat. Inhale, and then side angle. So we're going to keep the left hand on the ground or forearm to the thigh. Reach the right arm up and over, and then circle it the opposite direction. So it comes around, hits that point again, and we circle again. We're just getting the shoulder joint mobility here. And the last time, lift up into a warrior two. So the arm takes you up, and then we release that hand to the thigh, come into a reverse warrior, back into side angle. If you like, we're going to add that embellishment, that sweeping motion with the arm, going forward and back. The elbow can come to the thigh, so watch when we come to angle. It's here or on earth. Either one. Do what is appropriate for you. Last time through here. And then reverse the warrior, straighten the front leg. Yes. Come into a vertical alignment. Reach forward into Trikonasana. Oh, this feels so good, right? There's no hang up in the inner thigh. We can go deeper in this posture. We've really toned or lengthened the back body. We're ready. Hand to the waist. We're going to take this into a balance. Ardha Chandrasana, bending the front knee, shift the weight forward and raise the right leg. And I know these all are like really maybe difficult postures, but the sequencing that we put them in primes you and readies you. You are ready for this. Just take your top arm to the floor. So as you square the shoulders, roll the hip down, the right hip, so it squares up with the left, and then lift the heel. So we come into a standing split. You're taking that to it. One more breath. And then a giant leap back with the right foot, landing lightly, open to the side wall, and big circles with the arm. So we're coming into a twisting low lunge. One more time. Plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Yes. Right leg to the sky. Inhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Can we do that? Yes. If you want to flip the dog here, go for it. Because we've done that side plank. This would be the flip the dog. That's another embellishment and add-on. Come back through to down dog, step forward. All the weight onto your right leg for warrior three. Lifting the back leg. This is where it's handy to have a block. Keep your hand here on the block. Tone the navel, and if you'd like, one hand to the heart, the other hand. Back leg is elevated. Arms come into a flow. Jet airplane or overhead. If you really want to challenge yourself, hold steady. Hold steady. One more. Lift the torso, the back, and then the leg comes underneath. And suddenly we're upright. Exhale, hands to the heart. Whew, and that is the full sequence. So we'll take that on the second side. Breath in between. This is our really push through the grit, the steadiness, the strengthening. Here we go. Perseverance. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. You can do it. Left leg steps back on the inhale. Bend the heel to the floor, coming into side angle. Forearm to the thigh and the left arm sweeping up and over. Reaching to the front of the room. Around, again to the front of the room. And the last circle here. And as you reverse the action, come into warrior two. Reverse the warrior.
We can do anything for another minute. Back to side angle with a little arm motion. So we're going to go back and forth. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, big circle, exhale. Inhale, big circle, exhale. The legs stay steady. The upper torso is like swimming around, crazy, flow-like action. So wild stance, but it can because the legs are steady. We have the support system to do it. Reverse the warrior, straighten the leg, and then come through vertical into Trikonasana. And we get to hold for 3 breaths. Reaping the benefit and reward of all that work. 2. And we fill the gas tank so we're ready. 1. Hand to the waist for our next adventure. Shifting forward. Bring the left leg to the height of the hip here, maybe slightly above Ardha Chandrasana. Right, a left arm to the floor, squaring the shoulders. The hips follow the square, the lead of the shoulder, and then lift the left heel. Reach to the sky, forehead to the shin. A full standing split. Supportive through the standing leg. 1 more breath, you can do it. Hold it strong. Giant step back, landing lightly with your left toe, right? And we're in a low lunge. We'll revolve it. Now I'm seeing you guys. Yay! Back to facing forward. I like it. Big circle. Yes. Let's get a bask in the afterglow of all that work. Plant the hand. Step all the way back. Downward facing dog. Switch the leg, weight to your right, lifting the left, bend the knee, open the hip, flip the dog if you like, and that requires so much power on the right arm. Flip, and then come back to that 3-legged down dog. Step forward to the left foot, shift the weight onto the left leg, and raise the right hip height. Warrior 3, with a block. With a chair, climbing upward. This is a very difficult, more challenging way of coming into Warrior 3. So support yourself in that challenge. Arms in jet airplane or overhead, holding 3. Steady 2. Steady 1, lift. Shoulders, torso, legs underneath. And then bring the hands to your heart center. Whew. Shake it out. You did it. Like a little pat on the back, I think. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Step your left leg back and come into a pigeon. We'll fold the shin across the mat, knee outside your right shoulder, and let your hip lower. Back toes turn under or face the top of the foot, lay side down. Walk the elbows in. And take some deep breaths. It's really powerful to notice where your hips are in relationship to the front of the room. So if we square the hips up, push through the front shin and the back knee, you'll feel a little more sensation in the hip. This is the area, the piriformis, the glutes, the medius, the maximus, and medial, minimus. I said medial, yeah. The layers and layers of glute muscle here need to be opened up. So we give them a nice stretch that feels excellent. Walking the hands back to center, bend your back knee, reach around and clasp the heel towards the glute. So we get a nice stretch through the quad. The hand can be on a block here to the side, raising up, it can be out.
What can be over. We're just stabilizing the whole posture. Go ahead and release the back leg. Free up the front leg. And switch sides. Left leg comes forward. So we start in the pigeon. A diagonal crossing of the shin. The more the shin is at a right angle, the deeper the hip stretch. I get a deep enough hip stretch with the leg just at the diagonal. I have very deep hip sockets. They've always been that way. So your anatomy is going to be a voice in how you come into a posture. It will look different for everybody because no two bones are alike, right? Just like no two faces are alike, no two bones. We might have similarities, but really we are uniquely put together. We honor that. Holding here in pigeon pose. The Sanskrit word is Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. Kind of a beautiful sentence in and of itself. I'm going to raise and come into that full Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. So bending the leg around and draw the heel in. That's going to stretch the quad more. Let's get that deeper stretch. The legs way out here. And that's going to stretch the torso somewhere in between. Mermaid. And a gentle release of the back leg. Sweep it all the way around. Come onto your elbows. Draw the knees into the chest. Extend the legs forward for 5 breaths. Draw the belly in, navel towards the spine, lift the heart. 3 more breaths. So there's some options here. We always have options. There are always options, right? Where do I find support? The support here comes from the abs. If it's going back, then support the abs by bending the knees. By bending the knees, you say, you tell the abs, I'm just incrementally strengthening you. And we're going to shift the knees over to the left, the straight, or again, bent knees. The right arm can extend or stay in that supportive roll underneath you. 5 breaths this direction. We're working more the obliques. And then we'll bring it back to center. Over to the right. 5 breaths this direction. Holding steady. 2 abs in. Again, if you want to extend the arm, bend the knees, one or both. We don't want to see is this struggle in the shoulder. So keep the support here. Come back to center. Knees in. Oh, that's a good relief. And feet to the floor. Lie all the way onto your back. Take a deep breath. Heel into the crease of the hip. Releasing the hips. Oh, that was like we added on extra postures. So if this is your first time coming to this sequence, know that we worked up to this. Like I probably added 10 more postures in the sequence than I would normally do. All right, so you need to pat yourself on the back. We saw some new stuff. Let's lift the hips, come into bridge, roll the shoulder blades underneath. Keep a vigilant watch in the back of the head. So what I mean by that is, my ponytail's in the way. You're pressing into the back of the head so the chin comes neutral. Shoulders are steady, there's support, and your feet are planted inner ball and heel as much as your outer ball and heel. So as you root down through the inner side of the foot, you can feel your inner thighs engage. We want that. So keep the inner thighs engaged. Keep the
pressure broad through the shoulders, the head neutral, the chin neutral, and then stay in here for 1 more minute, right? Because I'm talking you through what comes up when we hold a posture steady for a longer period of time. Can be surprising. It can bring up some emotional issue. It can bring up mental capacity. I want to jump out of this pose. This is too hard. All of that. I just listen, note it, and stay in the pose anyway. Take another breath. Take another breath. We've got 30 more seconds. Take another breath. 1 breath, and the next breath, and the next breath, and the next breath. The support is the grounding of the shoulders all the way to the elbow, the grounding of the feet all the way up, channeling the inner thighs, the lift and smart connection to the glutes, not fully engaged in the glutes, but there is a smart connection there. 1 more breath. Take a full inhale. Clavicle is opening. And then on your exhale, we'll take it all the way down to the heels. Great job. It was 2 minutes. Now we'll support our bridge with a block or something similar, whatever you have in your repertoire, in your vicinity. Let yourself release into the block. A pillow, a firm pillow or a firm blanket would work just as well. We're going to rotate the shoulder blades underneath us. And this time lift the knees over the hips and then extend the legs as they will towards the sky. Supported shoulder stand. I love, love, love this supported shoulder stand. We're getting all of the benefit, the blood flow, circulation, the cleansing action that's happening in an inversion, along with the digestive, rest and digest in the internal organs. They go upside down. They're actually resting. This is so helpful for your digestion. If you have digestive issues, inversions are a great way to manage that. If you have glaucoma issues, then keep your feet on the floor and just elevate the hips. Okay, full or an extended stand would be to bring the hips up and then possibly support the low back. Keep your head steady, your gaze at your toes. Do not move the head. Keep the head steady. Keep the head straight up, chin neutral. 1 more breath. And we'll bend the knees, bring the feet to the floor, remove the block. Slide the hands underneath the hips, lowering the hips onto the wrist. And as you extend the legs, you'll be sitting on the hands, pretty much. Sitting on the hands. Squeeze the elbows in, broaden or flatten the shoulders broad. Then lift the clavicle, chest, and back. The crown of the head is barely touching. All the movements in my forearms, all the pressures in my forearms. I'm essentially sitting on my hands. Fish pose. Counter pose to shoulder stand. Tuck the chin, bring it the arms. Crossing the ankle over, hug the left knee. So I've got right ankle over left. Bring the knee in. We took this posture on our pigeon prone. Now we're going to do it supine. So you'll take a hook around the shin, extend the leg all the way out, and just see how this is possibly mirroring or matching what you felt in pigeon. Now we're supine, so we don't have the weight of the body pressing gravitationally. We have a different set of circumstances here. Guide the foot to the sky in a half happy baby, and then unfold it and guide it into an extension. Cross the ankle again over the left knee or thigh, and then drop gently over in a twist.
So the legs go to the left, the head goes to the right. Relax any tension in the jaw, the face, the shoulders, the neck. We have a tendency to lock the jaw when we're really trying hard. At least I do. So check there first. Are we clenching the teeth? Let's come back to center, switch sides. Knee draws in. We'll hold behind the hamstring. Gentle releasing of the hip. And then a hook, left hook around the left leg and draw the right leg to the earth. Some of my earlier filming and earlier classes, we really worked through this. I'm just taking you right into the postures here without the workshop. And guide the leg, the foot slowly to half happy baby. So it's facing the sky. And then unfurl, holding the calf, extend the leg all the way out. And some friends will want to bend the bottom leg because it will feel better, right? You'll get more open, you'll have a better experience. And some friends won't feel enough sensation until they extend the leg to the ground. So remember, you're unique in the way you're put together. So you uniquely need to listen to your body. Let's take this in an easy spinal twist over to the right and the head to the left. Bring it back to center. Make your way into Shavasana. I'm going to show you a couple of options, one of which is my favorite, to take the feet wide and then allow the knees to relax inward together. And some friends will really find this comforting for the hip flexor. We did work the hip flexors today, and so that might be a gentle release right here. If that feels great, stay here. The other option is to extend the heels out to the pockets. Shake it out a little bit. And then allow your legs to open and ease into Shavasana. This is an external rotation, and the hip flexors assist in that, so that might be tight. If that's tight, go back to the first TP, knees together option. We're here for a couple minutes. Releasing the muscle support you've been providing and allowing the support of the earth to take over. That's truly initiating the peacefulness, the integration of the posture, the release and relaxation. Dive a little deeper, surrendering more fully and completely into the earth. Who can I call on for support today? How can I support myself in the actions I take? It's already a nice support to come into a class and a community where we step into the fullness of who we are. We work through the postures in a purposeful, meaningful way that mirrors our lives as we work through problems, issues, challenges that come our way. So to kind of approach that the way we approach our mat practice. Take a deep breath into the belly. Send it through the extremities, knees drawn in, roll to one side in fetal position. When you're ready, let's come up into a seated posture. Interlace the fingers and bring the palms to the heart. Vajra Pradama, unshakable trust mudra. Breathe in, breathe out. Honor yourself with an acknowledgement of gratitude. I'm so grateful for the way you all showed up today. Rings and bells on your fingers and stayed through the entire class. That's stamina, grit, tenacity. Hands to heart center. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May we dwell in peace in our inner self, that pours out into the lives of our community, family, and friends, and thus spreads across the world. Thank you so much. Namaste. Sandra, Katie, thank you for being here. You can unmute yourself.